Hi, everyone. So today we are going to be looking at the symbol sprayer and the symbol palette. So if I get into Illustrator over here, I've got a document open. I'm kind of zoomed in right now just to kind of give you an idea. The place that the symbol sprayer is um, on on the toolbar is right here. So it's kind of if you're double up and you're in Illustrator. So just to reiterate, we're in Illustrator Essentials Classic. So things look a little different. Uh, we are going to go right here to the symbol sprayer. And one of the things I want to do is actually open up my symbols palette. So this is the tool, right? And then over here, we can go to our symbols palette. So remember, everything is alphabetical. So SS symbol, there we go. And there's my symbols palette. So I'm just going to drag that off and open it up a little bit. So what the symbols palette does is it gives you some presets that you can actually use. So if I click on this paint, this sort of vector grime, and I'm on my symbol sprayer, click over here, and I want to make a new layer because I've got some things on this other layer that I have closed. It's locked. So I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to spray some grime. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so let's command negative for a second. And there you can see I've got other stuff on here. I'm just going to go ahead and make this a little bit smaller, holding my shift key and moving it over. So at this point, I've got all of this, right? So I could actually go in here, I could break the symbol like so, and I could recolorize this. So I could make this a different color. So if I wanted to be sort of like blood or something, like some terrible thing happened, I can kind of come all the way down into these reds and maybe get in like there somewhere. Okay, let's see what that looks like, if it did it or not. Oh, no love there. Let me try that again. Okay, so part of what's going on here is we're going to say okay, but we're also going to go take a look at our colors. So if we look at our colors, so there's our swatches, and there's our color guide, and there's our color palette. So let's click on that. Notice that it's in grayscale. This is one of the things that Adobe Illustrator does from time to time. You have to reset it to be RGB. So see how it defaulted to grayscale? So we're just going to go in here and reset it to RGB, and hopefully now I can get that red and say okay, and now it stays red. All right. So, that's pretty much how it works. Let's hit delete. Let's try something else. Let's go down here. So in every palette, just a reminder that in every single palette, there's these three little books, two books standing upright and one at an angle. It's supposed to represent an icon for a library. So this is my symbols library. So if I click on it, I can see all the different kinds of things that would be in here. So let's take a look at dot pattern. So if I look at dot pattern, I can see that I've got all these different things. So there's a lot of ways. So here's like that. So let's go ahead and spray that. Whoa. So there's my dot pattern. Let's negative so you can see it. Look how big that is. Okay. I'm just going to bring that in. Now you can make this any size you want once you've built it, but you can see how this could be, see how I can distort it. I can hold my shift key and I can just decrease it in size, and then again, I can colorize it, hopefully. But what do I have to do to colorize it? Well, let's see. Let's get an awful color here. See, nothing happens. I have to break the symbol. So I have to go here to where the link is, and that's called breaking the link to the symbol. So now I have a whole series. See how it automatically defaulted again to grayscale? So I'm going to go back to RGB, and I'll just pick a color. And then I'll click off, and there you can see what I have. I can make that any size I want, right? This is right now grouped. If I ungroup this, just to give you an idea, like how much there is going on in here, see all those little circles? Like that would be a lot of stuff, right? So I don't know that I'd necessarily want to ungroup that, but gives you an idea of what you're dealing with here. Okay, we're going to hit delete. Okay, so that's one pack. There's a lot of other things in here. I've got some stuff that I've downloaded. There's things online that you can get. You can get symbol packs from Adobe. You got to be a little careful because they give you so many free credits, and then after a while, when you use things, they start charging you. So you always want to think about that too. Okay, so let's take a look here. This is let's just go into nature. Where's nature? I know it's in here somewhere. Here's flowers. So if I go into flowers, I can see I have all these different flower patterns. So there's sunflowers. So I'm going to come in here for a second and I'm going to double click on this. And I want you to see how big it is. So if I go diameter 0.25 of an inch, hopefully it's going to be a little smaller. Intensity is 3. Okay. Now, if you're on a tablet, you can change that by using the pressure sensitive tools. And it's the same thing with some of these things. So it's like your scrunch, you can do user defined, right? And so on. So we're just going to leave it at average for now. And we'll be talking about these in a second. Okay, so let's go ahead and say okay and see how much smaller it is now. So now I made a bunch of sunflowers. And see how I kind of changed like how many the flow was. So I'm going to hit delete just so you can see how that happens. So if I change this now to intensity of 5 and symbol density of 6, now say okay, and now see how I get so many more. Okay. So I'm going to put it back to that smaller number because they're easier to see and work with. So remember, you have to double click on the tool to get the tool dialog box. So these are your option boxes. So we'll go back to 3 and symbol density of 2, and we're going to say okay. And so we're just going to make a couple of these. Now, you'll notice that there were some other things in there. So while I have this highlighted, if I double click on my symbol sprayer, you'll notice that here I have, now this isn't going to show as well as some things, but this is a directional. So if I click on that, it says, hold down the shift key to bring symbol instances forward. Well, I don't really have any on top of each other. So let me just cancel that and let me add to this. Let's see if it'll let me add. I actually have to go back to the sprayer because I'm not on the sprayer right now. And say okay. So now I have more, and these two are kind of closer together. Actually, let's go back in and change our numbers again. And this time, let's say density is 8. And say okay. Oh, see what it did? It automatically changed it. So now I have some that are in the back and some that are in the front. All right, so this will be better for the demonstration. So if I double click here and I go here, it says hold my shift key down to bring instances forward. Hold the shift option key to send them backwards. So, okay. So let's go ahead and hold my shift key. See how that brought that other one forward? Whatever one I click on should be the one in front. Maybe. Now, if I use shift option, I believe, I send them back. So see how these are going backwards now? And the other ones are coming on front. So that's just one way to move them around. So play with that. That's a great option to play with. Let's go on to the next one. Now, this isn't going to actually show as well either, but this is hold down the shift key. And that's nice. These little reminders are in here, so you don't have to memorize all this. And let me just move to our next one. Hold down the option key to bring sim away from the cursor. Okay, so see how I have them all bunched up here? So if I hold my option key down when I'm on that tool, I have to be on this tool and click. See how I'm spreading them out a little more? So it keeps spreading them out. So that gives me a different look to how I'm randomizing them. Okay, let's move on. So let me go to the next one. Now this one is resizing. Hold down the Option key to decrease the size of the symbol instance, and then hold down the Shift key to the density preserving scale. So we're just going to do the Option key. So let me go ahead and hold my Option key. See, look at, now I made that one really tiny. Sometimes the stuff in the front's not gonna. So see how I have like a real variety now compared to what I had before. So this is just ways that you can randomize things, right? I'm gonna hold my Option key, and there we go, make that one a little different size. So this one's maybe the smallest, and there I have a lot of variety. Okay, so let's go on, double click. This one twirls them. You don't have to do anything except be on this one, and then just say okay, and I'll just kind of, these aren't really moving around too much. Oh, there we go. So see the little arrow? So like if you had, you know, things that you really wanted to feel like they were moving around, that's how you would do that. Although these are circular, so it doesn't seem to like show as much, but at least you have it in there. So like waving leaves or grass. Okay, let's look at this one. This is hold down the Option to decrease the amount of colorization. Now, I don't know why, but for some reason this doesn't always work that well for me, but we'll see. See, I don't see it. I really don't see this like changing coloration that much. Okay, but you know, and then there's one that I think the last one, these guys, one of them is transparency and so on. So definitely play with these. It's a really good tool to play with. Now, if I want to break this off, I can break these, and now I have individual flowers. So I need to go to my selection tool now, and there I can see they're still grouped. So to ungroup them, Shift Command G or Shift Control G, and now I should be able to move them around accordingly. Like what do I want in front, and so on. So if I look at my layers palette really quickly, now that I've broke them, there I can see all the instances. So if I click on this, you'll see, oh, it tells me that's this group right here, because this is all these little separate bits are grouped, right? So that's all grouped. So let's say now that I've made them into separate actual objects, because before they were, when they're together in the symbol, they're actually called an instance, but now they're an object. So while I'm in this object, let's just zoom into this one of these guys. Let's zoom into this one. Okay. So you can kind of see how this was made in layers, kind of did a brown and then came back and put these petals all over the top, and they're kind of multicolored. So now there's like this new, there's another feature in here that's pretty cool, and we can go to edit colors. So if we go to recolor artwork, we get this great little dialog box over here, and it tells us what these colors are. So as long as I have this highlighted, if I want to start to play with this, see how I brightened those colors? See that? How I can change them. I can move these around. I also can start to just literally, like one-on-one, start to play with the whole selection and see how I'm changing each color. Now, I should, here we'll go all the way over there. See, it was, oh, terrible. But I should, if I grab my, well, let me get back in there. Sorry about that. Go back to edit colors, recolor artwork. And there it always goes over here. Bring it back out again. I should, if I wanted to go to my color library, I could go into nature, beach, flowers, and now see how I have like different imagery. See how the brighter the colors are? Okay, and then I have this generative recolor. So the generative recolor brings up a bunch of ideas, and then all I got to do is click on it, and it'll bring me some things up and I can try them. So this is the newer, recolorization piece. Super fun, super great to work with. But you can see how, like, now let's zoom out, Command negative. You can see how much I've altered that flower compared to the others, right? Now, at any point, I can say, oh, well, now that I have this altered and I have it, and let's make it really tiny. Okay. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Command Z, hold my shift key till I'm done. I can actually make this back into a symbol. So now I can have an altered symbol. So right now it's showing me this, but if I go to my more bars over here and I go to new symbol, and I'll call this bright sunflower, and say okay, now I have this other sunflower. So if I go back to my symbol sprayer and click on that, notice that now I'm getting this other color of sunflower. And see how tiny they are? Because I made it very small. So a lot that you can do, and you can build things. So over here, I just played around and built, let me grab to my selection tool. I just built a flower, and I think that's part of my instance. Let me just see. Oh, go away. Let me just get out of here. Let me go Command 0. Okay. Now I think, oh, this is locked. That's right. I'm like, why can't I access it? Okay, I locked this layer because I didn't want anything to move. So here's my flower that I made. We can zoom into that. And same thing, I can go into edit. I can go into edit colors. I can recolor my artwork, and I can move things around accordingly. Right? See how I can really change it? And I can make it brighter or less bright. And everything changes. I can grab these individually and move them around. But I have this sort of, array of colors that I've built. Now, you can change the dominant color too. But then if I go to regenerative, then I can say, okay, well, what would it look like this? And before it takes it, it just shows me, well, this is what it would look like. So I can grab that. Then if I want to turn this back into a symbol, all I would do is come back over here. Let me just make sure it's highlighted. Let me get this out of the way. And then I would say, add symbol. I want to, why isn't it letting me do new symbol all of a sudden? Oh, I see. So I want to be out of here. I don't want to add them there. I want to put them in here. Okay, so now I would say grab this, and then I can say new symbol, and then I would say, Dahlia. Dahlia. Okay, and we'll say okay, and there it is. So now I can delete this, and it's gone. Now if I go to my symbol sprayer, click on make sure Dahlia's got the black line around it, and start making my dahlias. And there they are. So symbol sprayer, great for backgrounds, great for floral, trees, grass. Look around in there, have some fun. I think you are absolutely going to love, love, love this tool. So, all right, till next time.